If you like Nvidia, you're going to love this strategy that I'm going to be talking to you about. It's a way to make $15,000 a month in Nvidia, and I want to show you how to do it. It's actually pretty simple, and we're going to do it in a fairly conservative way, a way that you probably haven't seen other people talk about out here at all, because I seem to be the only person talking about it, and I'm creating a bunch of controversy. So I want to show you how I do this $15,000 per month income strategy on Nvidia so that you can do it too if you want, if you like Nvidia. And so let's start by analyzing the stock. First of all, you know my strategy if you've been watching my channel. If you haven't, it's we like the four cornerstones. We buy the right stock in the right market at the right spot on the chart, and then we squeeze the juice, okay? So let's look at the right stock. Let's take a look at this chart here. This is your Nvidia chart, and you can see that Nvidia has pretty much been kind of stuck in this little bit of a parallel pattern, right? Or you can look at this horizontal pattern if you want, and you can see that Nvidia is really kind of stuck in this area here, right? So I don't see Nvidia really just going crazy and breaking out, because I think that's already been done. And all these people that rode it from $40 to $140, you know, they've been selling it off. So it's trying to get up to the top, but now we have a red market. I'll get to that in a second. So we look at the stock and we go, okay, it's the right stock. We all like Nvidia. We know AI is coming. We know Jensen Huang is a great CEO. All those things we kind of know. Now, what do we think about the stock price? Well, we got the right stock. I'll talk about the stock price in a second. But are we in the right market? So we are in a red market. Like, I think we're at the tail end of a red market. So you could either get this trade ready to go, right? Because it'll probably be about the same when the market ends and turns green. Or you could do the trade now and maybe just do it small and add to the trade as the stock goes up if we're right. Okay, so we're not quite in the right market. The right spot on the chart, well, I don't think so, but we are for this strategy, and I'll show you that in just a second. So the right spot on the chart really would be, you know, a breakout above this 153 level, okay? But we're not in a bull market right now. We're kind of in a little pullback. And so we may be longer term in a bull market, but I'm trying to enter at pretty much the exact right time. Make sense? So what I want to show you here is that this stock dropped all the way down here to 126.86. Okay, will it do it again? I don't know. It's under the 50-day moving average. That scares me a little, okay? Although I'm not that scared with Nvidia. And it'll probably, if we get any kind of a good market, it'll probably bounce back up to that 50-day moving average. Nonetheless, I kind of want to put in like a bulwark here, right? Like a little stop area, right? Where I'm good, you know, in this area trading, and then if it goes too much below, I've got to do some defensive strategies. But I think this area is kind of a bounce area. So I'm going to put my line in the sand there, okay? Now, how do we make $15,000 on this? Well, let me show you. So what we're going to do is we're going to go buy these 90s, and these 90s are going to be trading, these 90s here are an 88 delta. They're going to be trading right around between $52 and $54. Let's call that 53. That's kind of splitting the difference. That's a really big spread, and it's the weekend, so you'll probably get a good shot to be somewhere in between, probably the $5,300 level. So we buy this base position. We go out there and we buy these 90 strike prices with an 88 delta, and we pay somewhere between 52 and 54. Let's call it $5,300 a contract, and we're going to pick up 35 contracts of those, okay? Now what we're going to do is we're going to look and go out about a month, and we're going to say, all right, Nvidia, I think at about a month, we're going to want to be right in here at these 130s. Remember how I drew that line at 130? I said I think that's where we want to be. That's probably where it'll bounce. It's at 137, so that's a good, you know, what, 5-6% in the money. And so we want to be on an in the money trade on this. Why? Because we're collecting the juice here. It's $420 a contract, but we also collect this whole premium here, this $10, and that gives us $10 to the downside, that if it goes from 137 to 127, we still haven't lost any money, right? But at the end of the month, we get to collect this $420 per contract. That's about $15,000 when you do the numbers, okay? So we're gonna go buy those deep in the money contracts for June that I just showed you, and then we're gonna sell 35 of these contracts, and these are the 130s, and we're gonna sell them for somewhere between $10 and $11, you know, dollars per share, or 1,000 to 1,165 a contract. And that's how we're going to get our $420 per contract on those shares, okay? Let me show you how the math shakes out on this. Okay, so the first step is we establish our base position. We buy 35 contracts. Those are those 88 deltas. Those are the 90s that go out to June. So we spend $5,300 per contract, costs us $185,500. Okay, next what we're going to do, step 2, is we're going to cover the position. So we're going to sell 35 contracts at $1,000 a contract, and that's the conservative number. We get $35,000 back into our account. That gives us that cushion, right? So now you take those two things and you realize, all right, I've got $185,000 into it, but I get $35,000 back by being in the money. My basis in the whole position now is $150,000. And I'm in this for the juice. So the juice is the income on the trade. It's the extrinsic value column that I showed you. You're going to get $420 per contract times 35 contracts. That comes out to $14,700 a month. Now you get that no matter what. If the stock goes up, down, or sideways, you make that $14,700 a month. Your account keeps its value as long as the stock stays at or above the $130 strike price. And now it'll go below the value, but you're always going to get that $14,700 per month. That is what the goal is of the trade. A couple of questions you're probably asking, because this is what everybody asks. And they're like, Mark, you're in the money. Like, won't you get exercised? The answer is like, no, right? You don't get exercised. I've been doing this for years and years and years and years, and I just don't get exercised. Why? Because I don't let it expire in the money. That's the biggest one. I wait until Friday right before it expires here on the 24th of January, and then I'm probably going to roll out. This is a strategy that just keeps going. And so I'm going to roll this one out, and I'm going to do the month out in January, right? So I'm not going to let it expire. Hey, it could get assigned, right? That means that the worst possible thing that can happen is you get assigned, which means that the day after you get assigned, you wake up and you're short those shares, okay? And you have a big amount of capital in your account, right? Because you're short. When you short, you sell something. So what you do is really simple. You go back and cover the short, and then you go sell another call against it. You're not going to be exercised against your deep in the money calls. I've never seen it happen. Nvidia doesn't have a dividend, so that's why you're not going to get assigned, most likely. I can never say never, because I don't know your brokerage firm and I don't know those rules. I'm just telling you, I never get assigned. So if you're asking me, how come you never get assigned? You're in the money. That's not the right question. You don't understand it. If you don't understand it, don't do the strategy. But if you start to understand, look, I may get assigned. There's like a little teeny weeny percent that you get assigned. But the rest of the time, you're just going to collect the juice. That juice, this is what we're after here. All the other stuff is noise. We're going right after this, okay? But what we're doing is we're giving ourselves this big old downside cushion in the money amount, okay? And no, we're not losing money because it's over the strike price. That's a fallacy, because this is what we're going for. If you focus on the $420 a contract, by the end of the contract, this is going to be zero. So you sell it for $420 a contract, and the extrinsic value, the juice, is always zero at the end of the contract. Okay? Always. There's no time value left. So you might buy it back at 3:45 Eastern time, on the day it expires, and then it's going to be a nickel or something like that. So you buy it back for a nickel, and you make $415 a contract or whatever. You get it? So don't be freaked out that I'm telling you about an in-the-money trade, because the in-the-money protects the downside, okay? It doesn't cost you extra money. In fact, it brings extra money into your account when you first do it. So you could drop quite a bit here on this, and you're still going to be ahead of the money. Why? Because you're going to be collecting that juice. Now, how about the other side of this? What if it doesn't go and stay above 130? What if it goes to, let's say, 126 or 125? Well, okay, my basis in the stock has gone from 137, which is the price now, and I'm getting, say, 10 and a half bucks for this per share. I'm bringing my share value down to 127, 126, something like that. So it has to go way below 126 before I start losing money. Can it? Absolutely. What if it goes to 115? Well, now you're $10 under the strike, and under the strike you start losing dollar for dollar, short term, okay? And then you have this base position that, they're the 90s. So you may start to consider moving those 90s deeper in the money. There's lots of different strategies that I teach to my students on how to handle repairing trades and how to be defensive. I can't get into all the scenarios because a lot of you are asking questions about what if it goes up? What if it goes down? What if it stays the same? I mean, there's a zillion different scenarios, and that's why they're called options. There's so many cool strategies that you can do with them once you finally decide what your core strategy is. This is a core strategy for Nvidia. I think it's a phenomenal strategy, and it's one that's in this market is a little bit defensive. And even if it turns around and goes up, you're going to make your $420. If it goes down, you're going to make your $420. And you might have to play a little defense to fix your account. But that's cool. I mean, that's part of the game. Like, if this were a layup, everybody'd be doing it, and then it wouldn't be available anymore, right? So you're at least studying it and learning it. Try to understand the nuances of it. I'm not going to be doing a lot of videos on this trade. I just want to give you the setup in case you want to study it and learn it and maybe do it and see how I do it. But this is a way to make $15,000 a month on one of the best stocks out there. By the way, if you want to learn how to do this or see this in action better, there is a playlist called the MicroStrategy playlist. It's like 21 videos long now and growing. And it's almost day by day for the last 5-6 weeks of what I've been doing on this very volatile MicroStrategy trade. It's a very similar trade to the one I just showed you. It's right here if you want to go click on that. And it starts about November 20th, and it says Critical Alert MSTR, MicroStrategy. So you can go through the whole beginning of the trade, when the stock went up, when the stock went down, when the stock was going in the money, how I rolled down the positions and everything like that. That'll answer a lot of your questions maybe about this strategy that I do, which is similar to the one that I just showed you on Nvidia. So you can watch that. And, a lot of times people want to just watch videos on YouTube. If you really want to get the nuances of what we're doing, I have everything put together in a nice box with a nice little bow on it in one of the courses that I have. And if you really want to get serious about this, we have mastermind groups where we get together and we talk about it. We have a community and we ask each other questions. We learn from each other. So there's lots of different ways to learn it. The cheap way, which is cool on YouTube, that's great. It's a good way to learn. And then if you really want the convenience of having everything together, then you can invest in a course. You're investing yourself, really. But if not, I'm happy that you're here and happy that you're supporting the channel and happy that you want to learn. That's it. I just want to change one life at a time by showing people, making people's eyes open and go, wow, this is amazing. You can make money from the gambler on the other side who's giving you the juice, the income. And I just love it. You could probably tell this is what I love to talk about. And I'm so glad you're here, and I'll see you on the next video. Take care. Hi, Mark Yagi here. Ready to transform your financial future? Well, I'm inviting you to my special live income accelerator. It's your ultimate 4-week live training designed to supercharge your income. This live training runs 4 Wednesdays in a row starting on January 15th. Not only will you get actionable strategies for how to create income using covered calls, but you'll also receive my fast launch trading course and exclusive mentorship from me throughout the 4 weeks. Whether you're a newbie or a seasoned investor, this training is designed to fit your needs. And because I like to keep my groups small, you'll get personalized attention. Join today and get an early start on the course so that you can hit the ground running when we begin. And grab some extra bonuses before the class even starts. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Your financial future is just a click away. See you in the Income Accelerator. Visit the link to join now. Hey, it's Mark Yagi, and if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do that right now. That would be a great favor to me, and plus it helps me get this material out to a lot of other people that might need it. I've got a little bit of a movement going on here, and I want to try to change the world one person at a time, showing them that you can make safe, reliable income from the stock market. And plus it helps to grow the channel a little bit. Also, if you would give me a thumbs up on the video and like it, great. If you don't like it, give me a thumbs down, that's cool. But just tell me why you don't like it so I can get better. And then hit the notification bell so you can get these videos as soon as they come out, because a lot of times this is timely information and you want to get that information before it gets stale. The last thing is to join my free Insider Tips newsletter. There's a link below and you get everything in one spot. You get breaking news and analysis also. So that would be great if you could do that too. See you soon.